right. Hey everybody again, it's Premiere Gal here, and I'm here with Bronwyn Lewis. She's a product manager at Adobe, and we're here to talk about, anything Adobe, CC, video, audio updates that you want to know about. And I also want to let you know that I do have a big giveaway going on, so if you ask a question, you'll be entered in a lottery to win all sorts of prizes. Bronwyn, do you want to tell us a little bit about any updates that Adobe has here at NAB?
Absolutely. So one of the big things in Adobe Premiere Pro that I think people are really excited about is the new graphics engine and the new type tool. If you are familiar with how the type tool works in Photoshop, it's very similar in Premiere Pro. So instead of what you had to do before, where you had to make a title and it was a separate window where you were editing that title, it had some, let's be honest, kind of outdated styles. All of that is changed, it's all new, really easy and intuitive to use, and you can edit the text directly in the program monitor, and then also scale and position it right there. As part of that graphics engine, we've got the Essential Graphics panel in Adobe Premiere Pro, so you can edit all of that text, move over to the Effects Control panel, add some animation to that, and add motion graphics templates, either by saving out a motion graphics template from what you just created in the Essential Graphics panel, or by bringing in something that was authored in Adobe After Effects.
Awesome.
That's only one that's only one thing. There's so many things.
I've actually played around with the Essential Graphics panel, and I actually did a tutorial on it right when it was released. So I've had some time to play with it, and some people actually ask, are we going to have some of the other capabilities like fill an image in the text that was in the old titler tool that's now legacy now. You can still use it if you do Command T or Control T on a PC, and it'll pull up a new title, but a lot of people are like, it was our old little titler tool, but we do miss some of the little wonky things that it has. So do you think that you'll start to add more features later on?
Absolutely. So the plan, how I say this, it's not complete, right? We're definitely accepting feature requests and ideas. We want to hear about how it's going for you and make sure that we're developing the tool with all the features that you need. So I'm the product manager on the graphics engine within Premiere Pro. I look after motion graphics templates both from After Effects and Premiere Pro, and then all that new type tool. So anything you can tweet to me directly or tweet to Adobe and it'll all come to me.
Fantastic. And somebody also had a question about just what sort of features do you have in Premiere for YouTubers specifically?
So one of the things that I think that we released in Premiere Pro just last week is the Essential Sound Panel, which brings the power of the Essential Sound Panel that we released in Audition a few cycles ago into Premiere Pro. So it makes it really easy to be mixing your audio. You can select a track and determine if that's dialogue, music, or ambience, and then get all of the appropriate audio editing presets for that. Something we aren't talking about at NAB, but we did announce back at Adobe Max in November, is the Social Publishing Panel Beta. Beta is important there, parentheses, beta, which is currently in private beta, and you can apply to join that. The URL is adobe.ly/SPP-beta, and that's specifically targeted toward people who are creating content online. It's a streamlined publishing workflow that then integrates the performance of your content right in Premiere Pro, so you can start to get a sense of your cross-platform performance, and ultimately we're looking to build in some strategic recommendations that are personalized based on how your content's doing and who your audience is.
Yeah, so I'm on the beta, and it's really exciting to see what they're doing. I don't know when it's going to be released yet, but hopefully, maybe Adobe Max this year? I don't know.
I can't make any promises.
Can't make any promises, okay. Somebody also had a question about Adobe Story, and if you're going to have that integration within some of the CC apps, because right now it's sort of separate.
Yeah, so we actually in January released an update to Story called Story Plus, and it's been rebuilt entirely with HTML5. I know Story free users can continue to use Story free, but anybody who's trying out Story for the first time will be directed to try Story Plus. I was looking at that question and I meant to prepare something more detailed than that, but that's I know with Story we've got that new version that came out. We're really interested in people giving us feedback on that and continuing to work with it, and my manager has been the product manager on that, so I can also again, you can reach out to me online and I can get you in touch with the right folks.
Out of the new features that have been released, I guess since last fall, what has been your favorite new feature?
Feature. I'm pretty excited about all the VR stuff. I really love how you can go into the program monitor and toggle into the VR mode and then actually just like pan around and interact with your footage that way. I'm really excited to see how VR emerges as a new storytelling tool. I think the people that are working with it right now are doing some really cool stuff with 360, and so I'm excited that we're continuing to develop that. In this release, we actually just added ambisonic audio support in Premiere Pro for VR content, so that's also something we're really trying to respond to those folks who are kind of on that cutting edge of using that as a storytelling tool, and then being able to integrate features that they need. So I'm pretty excited about where that's going.
For those of you that don't know, ambisonic audio is like 3D audio. So it's like hearing sound like you're in 360 space. So a lot of people don't think about that, but that's actually a really important element of 360 video.
Well, if you're trying to do storytelling, I think one of the pieces of disconnect so far have been like, oh, I've got this kind of environment that I can spin around, or I can, if I'm wearing a headset, I can look around, or if I'm on a monitor, I can scrub around, but then the audio doesn't really change or pan based on that. And so now this is adding that capability and that metadata so that as someone's moving around in that space, the audio is following them.
Let me just field a couple questions here. Okay, so yeah, Brian, the titler tool is available right now, and it's actually not called the titler tool, it's called the Essential Graphics panel, and it's in After Effects as well.
Yes, so yeah, a bit more on that. So the type tool, you'll notice in your tool well, it's right there. It's the T, just like how it is in the other Adobe tools. So you just click on that, and then you can type directly in the program monitor, and it'll make a new graphic object in your timeline. When you do that, it opens up the Essential Graphics panel, or you can go into the graphics workspace. It'll be one of the workspace presets on the top of Premiere Pro, and then you can get even more detail about how to work with that. In Adobe After Effects, the Essential Graphics panel is now this workspace where someone who is an After Effects artist can start to author a motion graphics template. So you can drag elements up from your composition into the Essential Graphics panel in Adobe After Effects, and then you can export that as a new file type. It's called .mogrt, and that becomes available either in your libraries or you can save it locally, and then that becomes a template that someone can import into Adobe Premiere and just edit whatever parameters the person who made it in After Effects has enabled them to author. So things like text, color, changing the background, basically any kind of parameter that you are going to be changing often as an editor without having to bounce back into After Effects. You can use that as a quick way to say, I'm always going to be changing the text field and I always want to change the color, but I don't want to have to always open up After Effects in order to do that for every episode of my YouTube channel, for instance.
And I think this is a huge feature. A lot of people love the idea of live text templates, but of course you can only update the text, but then this sort of revolutionizes that. But I believe that live text templates that are existing will already work, but it's sort of replacing the workflow. Is that correct?
Yeah, so this is kind of the evolution of the live text template feature that we've released a couple of cycles ago. This is definitely an improvement, gives you a lot more flexibility in terms of authoring that template experience, but live text templates will continue to work, but definitely recommend using the new Essential Graphics panel in After Effects to create those, and then checking out the Essential Graphics panel in Premiere Pro. If you're not an After Effects user, I am definitely not. The new graphics workflow that's native to Premiere Pro is really cool and gives you a lot of flexibility just right in that environment.
So I have a couple questions here, and we have a few more minutes, so I will read them, and hopefully, if you don't know the answer, we'll try to answer it later on. But CBR Network Studio said, is Premiere Pro speed affected with this update? And I'm not sure if that means like just the running speed or maybe.
I mean, we've been doing a lot of tests as we go through our development process. We're always trying to check and make sure performance is doing well. I know that a lot of the stuff in After Effects specifically, I know we've done a lot of GPU accelerated effects in this release, such as fast box blur, and I can't speak exactly on which types of things in Premiere Pro, but I know that that's all performance and stability are always things we're looking at and listening to our users about, and so it is a big concern for us to make sure we're addressing those with every release.
Awesome. So Lee asked, will the title tool graphics export to AE? After Effects, and I think that what he means is if you can export from Premiere Pro to, because isn't it like an integrated library that you can just share across?
So when you export a motion graphics template either from After Effects or from Premiere Pro, you can put it into a library, a Creative Cloud library, or you can save it out as a file somewhere else on your hard drive. Right now, you can only ingest the motion graphics template into Premiere Pro because we're kind of envisioning Premiere Pro as the place where you're consuming and you're probably making a lot of those editorial changes more often. If you make something in Premiere Pro and you want to bring it into After Effects, you can just copy paste and it'll come right over and you can put it into a new layer in your comp.
Thanks so much, Bronwyn, for all of your knowledge. It's awesome. Somebody said keep smiling more, which is great. Actually, somebody yesterday said that gal in Norwegian means crazy. I have to fact check that. Yeah, crazy gals, which is awesome. You got to be crazy to be creative, right?
I should have worn I've got a great pen that says "This bitch face does not rest," and I feel like I should be.
Oh yeah. Well, hey, you just gotta be, exuberant all the time. You know what I mean? So like, one last question here. Do you think that AE and Premiere would ever merge? This is very futuristic.
Oh, very future thinking. The technology stack that underpins Premiere Pro and After Effects is the same. We're really trying to bring those technologies together and enable editors, but about bringing those user interfaces together, or the feature set that you can do in After Effects is really quite complex. There's a lot of things you can do, and so we really see that there's a need for both tools to exist, because the type of work you do in After Effects compared to Premiere Pro is different. But we are always listening to people and their feedback about our tools, and really trying to bring the things that you're doing most often and making those features available. And I think that's what you can really see with like the graphics workflow and the templates workflow in this release, is that we heard people are having to bounce around a lot between those two tools, and that's not the most efficient use of their time. And so we're trying to enable workflows like that.
Awesome. Well, that's all the time we have here with Bronwyn. I'm very excited for the updates. And the next person we're going to be interviewing is in LaCie over at Seagate. So stay tuned. We'll probably be back online in another 4 or 5 minutes. So it'll still be live, but we'll see you guys soon.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
All right, you guys. So I'm here with Clement, with LaCie, with Seagate, and I'm really excited to share with you some of their new products that they have. And so, Clement, what do you have in your hand right now?
So hello everyone. So what I have here is a new 2 big dock. So it's a 2-bay professional storage. So it's got 2 hard drives with a capacity that goes from 12 terabyte to 20 terabytes. But what is really cool about this product, it combines with a 5-in-1 docking station.
Oh, wow.
So what we got is we've got a SD card slots right there. Up. We have a compact flash. So you have everything to capture from a DSLR, from a drone, from a GoPro camera. We have a USB hub, USB 3.0. So you can connect, you can charge your phone. You could connect a mouse, a keyboard. You could also connect a mobile drive, for instance. At the back, we also have like a mini DisplayPort, so a video output. So you can connect that to a professional monitor to do like a proper editing. And on top of that, with Thunderbolt 3 and USB 3.1, you can also charge your laptop. So, yeah, so where the product is genius is, you know, the new MacBook Pro is great. It's compact, it's powerful, but it only has Thunderbolt 3. So I think this is changing the whole dynamic around workstations.
Yes.
The workstation used to be like the central piece on your desktop where everything is connected to.
Yeah.
But because the laptop is like convenient, you know, to carry around,
Yeah.
what you can do is this becomes your central piece of your desktop. And all you need to do is connect one cable, only one cable to your laptop, and then everything comes to life. Your monitor, you charge your laptop, you can connect your USB, charge your phone, so everything in there.
All right. So what do these run at, price-wise?
So product is shipping somewhere like this summer.
Okay.
And
it's not out yet.
no, it's not out yet.
Okay.
It's just been announced, and we have to wait for a couple of months. I can give you just a ballpark because price is not finalized. We're looking somewhere between $800 and $1,300
That's not bad.
for 12 to 20 terabytes.
Yeah, that's great. That's fantastic. Well, I'm definitely going to look into getting one. As a shredder myself, shooter, editor, producer, that I'm on the go, as you see here. So yeah, I'm very excited for it.
Make sure you get one so you can test it out.
Awesome,
Okay?
sweet. And I also have the rugged. I use the rugged all the time. I have a 4 terabyte rugged that's Thunderbolt. And what I love about it is that the cord is connected to the drive, so I never lose it. But the only downside is if I ever screw it up, I don't know what to do.
Well,
Why did you guys design it that way?
so exactly for what you said, like no, you don't lose the cable. Also, you save space on the actual product, and also it makes the product even more ruggedized to like environments like dust, rain, and stuff like that. Now, if the tethered cable break, it's not a problem because you have also a USB 3 port on it.
That's true.
Okay, and USB cable, you find that anywhere.
Yeah.
So you still have a backup plan to connect to your computer.
Sure, absolutely. Let's see here. It says the mic keeps dropping. Let me know if you guys can hear us. You guys are our tech support right now watching. Sometimes the microphone goes out, but just let us know if like we're not clear or if it's too loud or anything. So just keep us posted.
That's because we're live.
Yeah.
It's not a
Yeah, sometimes things happen when you're live, but what can you do? So I guess, do we want to go into the DJI?
Product?
Like, yes, yeah.
So another exciting products, particularly for the vloggers. So at CES in January, we have announced a partnership between Seagate, LaCie, and DJI, and we just came up with the first solution out of this partnership. It's called the Seagate DJI Fly Drive.
Okay.
So the DJI Fly Drive is a mobile hard drive with USB-C, so that works on the new MacBook Pro with Thunderbolt 3 as well. It's got a rubber for protection on the field, and also that's also where you can put the cable, so when you travel around you don't lose it. But what is really unique about this product is that it comes with a micro SD card slot right there.
Oh, okay.
So if you are like a DJI fan and you have your drone, like flying a Mavic Pro, you just have to take the SD card from the Mavic, plug in the SD card, connect to your new MacBook Pro, and you can ingest content from the SD card to the
That's great.
To the DJI Fly Drive.
Yeah, because the memory cards are expensive, and you run out of that shortly when you're out flying. So that's great.
And when you're on the field, you know, and you fill it up, you need to empty so you can keep shooting everything you want to. And one other element which is very important, it comes with 2 months of Adobe Premiere Pro subscription, which is valued for about $60. So it's
great.
included.
It's included. Oh,
yes,
that's great.
For 2 months.
That's
Yes.
fantastic. Do you guys have any other like discounts going on right now during NAB?
So we have a couple of show special for NAB. Particularly, we have a bundle that includes the 6 big and 12 big, which are the big Red 5 towers.
Yeah.
And the bundle includes 6 big or 12 big plus a Pelican case to carry it over and a Thunderbolt 2K adapter.
Oh, that's great.
So if you don't have the latest MacBook Pros with Thunderbolt 3 and you still have the previous Mac computers, you can use this adapter and still migrate to a Thunderbolt 3 storage solution.
That's fantastic. And actually, I'm doing a giveaway right now as part of the lottery, and I'm giving away a Rugged, thanks to LaCie, and a bunch of other products, I think about $3,000 worth. So if you ask a question, you'll be entered in the lottery, and I'll be doing the picking later this week, and I'll announce the winners later on. So if you're watching, please do leave a comment. Is there anything else that you want to say about any of your products here today at NAB?
No, if anyone is walking by, come onto our booth. Very hands-on. We have like a true creative professional station, and we also have some great speakers talking about their workflows. It's very there's a lot of interaction, a lot of questions, and everything you need to know about your setup and what works. You have people just like you who have figured it out and can help you out.
Fantastic. Well, thanks so much for chatting with me today. I'm sure everybody's excited about your new products.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I had a great time. Thank you very much.
Cheers. All right. And before we go off, I just want to let you know the next person we'll be talking with is Digital Anarchy and then fayteq. So we'll see you guys in about 5 minutes. Bye. There we go. actually a good thing. You forget that they can't. Hey, everybody. I'm here with Jim, the founder of Digital Anarchy based in San Francisco. And he has some awesome plugins that he's created to enhance your post-production workflow and to make things look better. So one of the, I guess, the flicker-free plugin is awesome. It helps deflicker your video. There's also a beauty box that helps, put a mask around people's faces, makes it look a little bit smoother, the beauty box effect. And those are actually part of our lottery. So if you have any questions, please do ask them for Jim, and you'll be entered into the lottery, and you may be able to win that along with other prizes. So, Jim, do you want to tell us about some of your latest products?
Sure. Well, that's why we're here. Yeah, so we just, we have Beauty Box and Flicker Free, and those are great products. Also Samurai Sharpen for doing sharpening video, which we came out with about 6 months ago. But what we're really talking about here at the show is a new product we're about to release called Transcriptive for doing automated transcription. And so what that means is if you're in Premiere Pro, you can take the audio from your timeline, from whatever sequence you're in, upload that to the cloud, get a transcript back to a Premiere panel. The services are about 90-95% accuracy, so it's a really great transcription, especially if you've got good, clean audio. And then you're in a Premiere Pro panel. You can edit the text, kind of clean it up. You can click on the text and jump to where that text is said in the timeline. And the other great thing is you can take that entire text and move it into Premiere markers. So that, say if you've got an hour-long documentary and you know what somebody said, but you don't know where they said it, you can type that into the markers panel and search for it, and it'll bring up the marker where that was set up.
And this is something that I think has been missing in our workflow for a long time now. I know that I use YouTube all the time for my captioning, and then I just download it as a .srt, import it into Premiere Pro, so this is almost like bridging that gap.
Yeah, and it's better, it's more accurate than what shows up in YouTube. And YouTube's a great example of why you would want to do transcripts, because not only do you get subtitles, which makes it easier to watch, but you also get an SEO boost in terms of Google searching all those subtitle data, and so it's a great thing to do if you're doing YouTube videos for sure.
Now, is the transcriptive plugin, does it allow you to export to different formats as well?
Yeah, so you can export to like SRT and VTT and STL and different file formats that are good for captioning. They're great for subtitles, and so yeah, you have a bunch of different options for exporting it and getting that data into other applications. You can also do it as clip markers, where it puts the entire transcript embedded into the footage itself. So that if you take the footage to a different application, say Avid or Resolve or something, all that data should go along with it.
That's great. I like that it sort of bridges the platforms, because I feel like, although I'm biased, I'm on Premiere Pro, I feel like, whatever platform works for you, the transcript shouldn't prevent you from having, that's accessibility, right? So that's the meaning of it. So yeah, so is there anything else you want to talk about, with Flicker Free or Beauty Box, any of your other products that people that may not know anything about it?
Well, Flicker Free, is a great product for us, and we're working on a new version of it to speed it up. Right now it does not use the GPU, and so we're pretty focused on getting all of our plugins to be as fast as they possibly can be. So that's something that's coming up. Flicker Free has just been great for deflickering camera light sync problems, where you've got so many cameras and so many LED lights, and they have a tendency of getting out of sync, and you got these rolling bands that happen on video. And so that's been probably the big use for that. So we're happy with that.
You also have lots of photo plugins for Photoshop and Lightroom as well?
Yeah, we have some Photoshop and Lightroom plugins. We do Beauty Box for both those apps. But we're pretty focused on the video side of things these days. And
sweet. Somebody wrote that they need to beautify their face. Actually, do you have anything for live video for Beauty Box?
We don't really, it's pretty real time depending on what the file size is. But there is not really a live, if you're using Facebook Live or YouTube Live or something, there's no. The problem is, it's if there was a way to do a plugin for that, then we would do it. But they're just.
That's something in the future.
I'm aware of.
So the app that we're using to stream right now is called Switcher Go, and it lets you load in pre-loaded media like stills or commercials if you're going to take a break. So maybe the next step is live filters.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you know, you have to have a fair amount of processing power for it, you know, because we're doing some pretty sophisticated skin retouching. You know, I mean, the whole thing about Beauty Box is we really try and keep it as digital makeup. So it looks really realistic. It's really like you just apply the layer of foundation and a layer of blush, and you're not completely blowing out all the skin texture. And so that's really what we strive to do with Beauty Box. And, you know, to keep that realism requires a little bit of horsepower. So you're probably not going to get real time on the phone. But you know, if you're running it through, you know, like say something like Telestream Wirecast, where you're running it on a laptop, you know, that's certainly an option if they open that platform up to like plugins, for sure.
And I've used Beauty Box a couple times in Premiere Pro, and it does, you know, require a lot of render time, but the result is fantastic. And how did you sort of come up with this idea?
Mostly it's listening to users. I mean, you know, you listen to like what people are bitching and moaning about. Not the users ever bitch and moan, but you know, you look at what the pain points are, like what people are running into, and you look at what we can do with the technology, right? So it's looking around, like for example with transcriptive, you know, coming to the realization that speech to text is actually getting extremely accurate, and going like, we can build a Premiere Pro plugin, panel, whatever, around like the speech to text services that really make this a great tool for video editors. And it's keeping your eyes open for what new technologies are out there that we can leverage, and also listening to users and going like, well, what do they want to do? What are some of the pain points they're running into? So it's really just listening to people.
Yeah, that's a very good approach. I like the grounded up approach, grounded theory, where you don't sort of like come up with something and just throw it out into the masses. You need to listen.
Sometimes we do that.
Throw it over the wall and hope that everybody loves it. Yeah, I guess one question I had about the transcriptive is, I noticed, like, you know, I talk pretty clearly English. I'm just curious about like voice recognition for maybe people with accents, or are you ever thinking about Spanish or other languages?
Yeah, so you know, I mean, like with accents, it can be a little bit tough. I mean, you know, the 96% accuracy is, you know, if you've got reasonably clean audio, you've got someone that's relatively good at enunciating their words. You know, if you've got someone who's drunk, then it's probably not going to work so well. You know, reality TV shows or something. But we do plan on doing other languages. Japanese is kind of next on the list. Spanish is going to be right after that. So yeah, we're definitely looking into doing that. We've had lots of requests for both of those here on the show floor.
Well, thanks so much, Jim, for your time. It's really exciting stuff that you're working on. And again, you guys, if you ask any questions, even when I'm at the different booths around here until 4:15 today, you can be entered into the lottery to win a Flickr free or a Beauty Box plugin made by Digital Anarchy. So cheers, Jim.
Yeah, thanks.
Enjoy the rest of the show. All right. Hey, you guys, it's Premier Gal again, and I'm here at the fayteq booth at NAB show, and I'm here with Felix. He is, do you want to introduce what your title is?
Yeah, I'm Felix. I'm the video editor for fayteq in Germany.
Fantastic. And Felix has been great when I've had any questions about their product called Fayin. It's a plugin for After Effects. He's been super responsive and has helped walk me through some of the steps to achieve the looks that I've been wanting. If you have been on my channel, you've probably seen that I've done a few tutorials for fayteq, and it's an awesome plugin, the Fayin. I recently did yeah, that's fayteq right there. I recently did a tutorial on the sticker effect, Apple's iPhone 7 iMessage sort of sticker fight, and I was able to use the Fayin plugin to actually stick a synthetic or a fake digital sticker on my chest and have it stay there. So do you want to go over a little bit what exactly Fayin is to anybody that may have no idea?
Sure. Should I grab it? All right. Perfect. Hello. Yeah, Fayin is our first plugin. We released it in 2015, and it's a camera tracking and match moving tool. And it seems like it's a small tool, but it gives you so much possibilities of working with your inserts and working with your footage. And it's really easy to use. It's a streamlined workflow in camera tracking you have never experienced before. It's really easy to use, and I really enjoy it because you just simply mask your track, go tracking, and then insert your stuff. So, and it just works, and that's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
So.
And one thing to add to that too is, like, you know, I would identify more as an editor than sort of a special effects designer. So I was able to use it with a lot of ease because it's very simplified, it's very easy to use. I was able to do my first tracking within just minutes, which is, you know, awesome, you know. So in addition to what Felix was just saying, was you can actually do screen replacements. So, and you don't need to have a green screen, right? It's just like tracking in an area of anything and just replacing it. So do you want to go into a little bit about what fay out is? Because I haven't used that. And so there's fay in and then there's fay out.
Yeah, actually, there fay out isn't there really.
Oh, okay.
It's a working prototype right now. We're working on it, and fay out is like it's based on the same engine as Fayin, but Fayin is a tool for match moving and inserting footage, very easy. But fay out is a tool for automatic object removal. So we are working on that. I've seen the working prototype, and it's like, it's magic. It's magic. And we have a demo working here right now. We have a video running right next to us, and it says coming soon, but I don't want to tell you a date, so we're working on it. That's all I can say.
So I see the fay out here, and I'll show you in a second. Would that work for, let's say, 360 video? Because I know that people want to remove their crew when, you know what I mean?
I know what you mean. And we get that 360 footage a lot, that question, but all I can say is not now. I think the technology is capable of doing it, but we're not providing it right now. But maybe somewhere in the future, if there are enough requests, that's going to you guys. If there are enough requests, maybe we can do it.
Right. So I see the value of having the object removal. Let's say you want to get a perfect shot of the Golden Gate Bridge, and then all these tourists are just standing there ruining the shot. You can remove them, which is fantastic now that I think about it. Yeah, so was that sort of the intention behind it?
Yes, somehow. It's like, if you, like, sorry, I take that again.
Take the mic, it's okay.
Sorry. Yeah, it's like if you're filming in a city or something, and you can't tell everyone, okay, stand back, if you're doing a small production. You just don't have the money or the personnel, something like that, and you just want to take out a person walking by in the background, or a car or something like that. That's pretty much one of the best use case for it. Or if you're going to 360 footage, it's the same use case. Get rid of things that are in the shot you don't want them to be there, and like a microphone hanging up front here.
The boom mic.
Yeah, classic. So that's it's possibly limitless creativity you get there.
Well, it sounds like you guys really just are like almost a fix-it type of plugin company. You know what I mean? Like, how can we make this easier for the users? How can we, provide the tools to sort of fix things that are maybe in the way? So I love that approach. And how long has fayteq been around for?
So fayteq is around for 4 or 5 years now. 4 years. Our CMO gives me this for 4 years, and it's been developed for a few years more. It's a spin-off of a PhD work of our CTO, and Jan Herling is his name. And we released, as I said before, Fay-In on the IBC 2015 in Amsterdam, and since then have a growing community. We have a lot of good feedback. We have a lot of feedback in general, and we're always working on making the product better and better and better, and working towards the user. And the user base supports itself. We give a lot of support. You experience it yourself. So we're around for 4 years. I'm with the company for 2 years, and I'm enjoying it since. So it's great. It's a great joy.
So yeah, I've actually forgot to mention that I'm doing a lottery with this live stream, and fayteq's Fay-In plugin, it's a gold license for 12 months, will be one of the prizes, so you guys can win it and experiment with it and do some of the cool effects that I've been able to do. And there's also heaps of other prizes, so keep engaging, leave some comments, ask some questions, and I'm really excited to see Fay out when it comes out. But is there anything else that you want to say, or is that it?
I mean, test our tool. You can test it for 14 days for free. After that, get the free version, test the gold version, test 3D stuff, 2D stuff, export your data, do whatever you want. And just let us know what you think about the tool, because we live from your feedback. So it would be a great joy. Thanks for the possibility to speak here to you, Kelsey. So.
Yeah, and if you guys do any special effects, be sure to tag me or fayteq on Twitter, and they'd probably feature it on their website, because they're always looking for client stories.
Yeah, we will feature you for sure.
Awesome. Thanks so much, guys. And the next person, we're going to show you a little bit of the Fay out, but the next booth that we're going to, I believe, is Boris FX. So we're going to show you some Fay out, and then we'll see you very soon. Bye. I guess, will people see what's All right, you guys, I'm here with Brian Fox at Boris FX, and I'm really excited to share with you some of their latest products. I'm still pretty new to Boris FX, so I hope that we can learn about their products together. They've also generously donated one of the Boris FX Sapphire units to be part of the raffle, as part of the Ask Al Live raffle. So if you ask any questions, you'll be entered in, and you can win the awesome bundle, which is worth like $500. So you should definitely ask a question. So Brian, tell us about a little bit about Sapphire, some of the new units that you guys have launched.
Sure. So Sapphire is a big, huge set of visual effects plugins. We've been around for 20 years, over 250 plugins. We're used in pretty much every feature, commercial, television show, and for a long time, you've only been able to buy the full suite of Sapphire. So it's been a big upfront purchase, which is fine for a lot of big companies, a lot of enterprise companies, television stations. But we've this year, for the first time, broken up the package into individually more cost-effective units. So if you're interested, say, in just transitions per se, we have a ton of great transitions. You can buy just the transitions package. You don't have to buy the full suite of Sapphire. If you're interested in just like our lighting effects and you just want, to get wacky with lens flares, that's cool too. So you can just buy that. So this is like a big thing for us. This honestly is something people have been asking for years. So we're excited to kind of actually finally offer a more cost-effective way people can use Sapphire kind of on the individual artist editor basis.
Fantastic, and that's great for me too, as somebody that's a shredder, shooter, editor, producer, maybe working on a smaller team, can't really afford the full package. This is a great deal, and it's great news for people like me and maybe some of you watching. So is this a plugin that can be used in After Effects and Premiere Pro?
Yes, 100%. So whenever you buy Sapphire, it works in anything that Adobe makes on that machine. So it works in, it works in After Effects or Premiere Pro, but it also works in anything that supports OFX, which really what that boils down to is Resolve. So if you have Resolve and After Effects and Premiere on the same machine, Sapphire is going to work in all those applications as well. But we support everything. We support Avid Media Composer. We support Autodesk Flame, Nuke by the Foundry, even things like Sony Catalyst and Magic Vegas, Edius, pretty much everything. I don't think there's really anything out there we don't support.
And what has been some of like the best customer stories that you've seen in terms of like how people have used Sapphire and their visual effects for their videos?
I have good ones. Obviously, Star Wars, Industrial Light and Magic is one of our biggest clients. Even back to like the reboot, some of the Force Lightning that came out of the Emperor's hands, that's all our lightning effect. Suicide Squad most lately used our lightning like crazy. Ghostbusters, Magnificent Seven, it's pretty much like a who's who list of features. But at the same time, like I love the cool stuff too. I love to see a company, Black Math in Boston, is doing some really cutting edge stop motion graphics projects with Sapphire. But that's the cool part about Sapphire. Like we have all those high-end customers, but then we have guys cutting, home music videos and wedding videos using Sapphire too. So it's fun to see the tool kind of span across all these different worlds.
So if I wanted to shoot a laser out of my finger right now, I could use Sapphire for that.
We have a laser effect, or you could use your lightning effect, and you could straighten it out all the branches.
Okay.
Like here's my real what I like about Sapphire. Like none of the effects do almost what you think or almost it was intended to do. Like sure, we have a lightning plugin, but it's such a deep tool that you can create like all these thousands of different looks from it. So it's really like inspiring for me as I'll see someone actually use an effect and I'll try and guess what it is, and they'll be like, "Did you know that was Zap?" And I'm like, "Ah, that's Zap? That's awesome! That's great. I didn't even know it could do that." So yeah. Fun stuff.
So it's cool to see how sort of customers get creative with it as well too, like things that you maybe never even expected. So
yeah.
That's really great.
Yeah, we really call them like artist tools. We don't really call them plugins because like honestly it's like a tool, right? It's a hammer, but what you can do with that, you can make a beautiful house or you can bash your thumb, So it depends upon you yourself as to how you use those tools, but they really are very cool open-ended tools like that.
Very cool. Well, CBR Network says, hi, Boris FX.
Oh, nice. This is my first live stream, so
That's great.
totally.
This is fantastic then. And Andrea, she just commented on the Shredder effect that she's never actually heard that term before.
Very cool.
But Predator has been around for a while, the producer editor, but I don't know if I like that term as
Shredder sounds pretty severe.
Well, like shredding it sounds kind of cool, you know what I mean? Versus like predating it. Like, I don't want to be a predator.
Yeah. I'll tell you right now, like if I was to talk to all the Premiere fans out there, I would say check out our transitions. Our transitions are awesome, and we actually have a transition builder too. So basically what you can do is create your own transitions. Like suppose you love a glur, like a glur. That's a glow blur, but like a glow dissolve, right? Yeah, glur, I like that. But like glow dissolve, then add shake to it, and then like a film roll, and now you have like a new custom transition. And also our transition builder, we actually work with reality editors in LA and all these different editors who create transitions for themselves, and then GenArts and Boris FX will purchase those and include those in every release. So we have this like core set of transitions, but then we have these kind of advanced professional presets that go in every single release. So that's really cool. So kind of we get to, and that's even cool for me too, because sometimes we're like, oh, what can we do? What can we come up with a new idea? And we get to work with outside editors and artists, and they can just build it and then email it to me, and I'll be like, that's great. Let's give it to everyone for free,
We have a question from Judy Wolfe here. Can you buy just one effect, or are they all packaged in sets?
Sure. So you can buy a unit, which is a group of effects. So it's not a single effect, but it's like things like all the lighting effects together, all the blur effects together, all like we call them stylized. So like film looks, film grades, TV damage, digital damage. Those are in one category. So not individual effects, but like just groups of effects. I think there's 8 groups.
Which I think is smart too, because it'll give you the opportunity to sort of play around with the different looks that you may have not thought you were going to use, but then you end up using it and you're like, so glad that I got the pack versus just that one color grade, for example.
Cool. Yeah, I mean the cool thing about plugins is honestly is like when you're stuck creatively, just throw them on and play around. So yeah, you always kind of want those like new tools and think like, I've never used that, let me see what it does, and then it gets your mind thinking of something new, and then you can kind of riff off it.
Great. Someone just asked, how many transitions do you have?
I think right now over 50. Yeah. There's so Sapphire's been around for like over 20 years. So with the transitions, I always like to say there's some wipes in there that like feel very old and dated to us, but at like some point it was actually very difficult to do a star wipe, so like the star wipe's been in there forever because we think that like, hey, if one person's using that, we're never gonna like delete it. But the really cool transitions going right now is we have like a Z blur, which is like this really cool like motion blur that comes at you in Z space, swish pan, film roll, shake. We have a whole bunch of glitchy transitions like digital damage with video tearing and all that type stuff. But the transition builder is really where it's at because, like I said, you can do a lot of really cool things, like the classic 24 transitions, like triple box wipes, and all those like moving matte transitions. We do all those as well. So, yeah.
Which are all really great for short promo videos, just to capture people's eye rather than just the standard cross dissolve that just comes with. I mean, I think Premiere Pro at least comes with a very limited set of transitions. So if you really want to up your transition game without having to go into After Effects, I'd highly recommend checking out Boris FX Sapphire transitions. It's awesome.
Oh, thank you. We like to say, let Adobe. I mean, the product of produced with Premiere is so amazing. We want them to continue focusing on Premiere, making Premiere better. Like selfishly, we like to say, like leave the transition to us. We've been doing it for 20 years, and they like that too as well. They're like, this is great. We can actually focus on the hard problems, and that's where the Adobe backs have always been successful because this whole relationship with plugins, with outside companies, let them specialize in that, and then we can handle the big problems. Because trust me, I don't want to handle the big problems, know?
Somebody asked, they're on Creative Cloud, and this is Brian Craig, and when we get regular updates, would Sapphire, so like when the new update was released, will Sapphire be supported immediately, or do we need to hold on before updating?
Yeah, 100%. We're a true partner with Adobe. We're always working, with Al and Victoria and all those great people at Adobe. So, we're obviously on alpha and beta release. We're constantly testing. We kind of know where our bread is buttered in terms of that. We're always going to make sure that Sapphire works with the latest version of Premiere because that's the model they're at. Like, people are updating instantaneously. I always like to tell people, like, if you're in the middle of a project, you might want to maybe wait till the project was over before updating, just as a general rule of thumb, but we're always ready.
Well, thanks so much, Brian, for sharing all your knowledge. And once again, you guys, you can win a Sapphire unit of your choice. So if you want to get transition pack or what was it, the color grading pack you guys have? So you'd be able to choose which one you want if you win. So there's a lot of other prizes you can win. I think there's about 13. I'll probably around $3,000 worth of goods. So definitely ask a question and sign up. And yeah, the next person we're talking to, I believe, is Logickeyboard. Yeah, so if you don't have a Logic keyboard, I actually have one of their skins on my MacBook Pro.
I have many Logic keyboards.
Yeah, and it's great. I mean, sometimes I memorize the shortcuts, you know, but at the same time, like, it keeps my keyboard so clean.
Oh, like a nice, fresh, clean keyboard.
Yeah.
That's great.
But anyway, Brian, pleasure.
Awesome. Thank you
Thanks
so much.
Yeah. Oh,
You made this painless. Thank you.
sweet.
want to look into the camera or you?
Okay.
We're rolling.
We're rolling.
We're
So
rolling.
address the people watching. So
Yeah.
hey everybody, it's Premiere Gal here. I'm here at Logickeyboard's booth at NAB, and I'm here with Casper, and I have no idea how to pronounce your last name now that I just realize it.
Kind of difficult. It's Newman Svanemose.
I'm not going to try to repeat that. But anyway, that's not the point here to understand his last name. What we're really excited about is Logickeyboard's shortcut keyboards that they have for all of Adobe software and other platforms as well. But since I'm a Premiere Pro and After Effects user, I actually use one of their skins on my laptop pretty much everywhere I go. And I really love it because it also keeps it clean, which is awesome.
While we are at that, I have a small surprise for you.
Oh, a surprise. Yes,
I have
and
a brand new keyboard.
a brand new keyboard. What kind is it?
Of course, it's for Premiere Pro, and it's for Mac, and it's backlit. And I'm sure that it will fit quite good at your station at home.
Oh, fantastic. Look at that. Can you guys see it? Can you see it? So this is a backlit keyboard for Premiere Pro, and basically it lights up so you can see it at night. So anything else you want to say about this keyboard?
Yeah, definitely. I can pick one up.
Yeah.
This is the one.
Okay.
The keyboard is backlit. We both make them for Mac and PC. They have 5 levels of light, whereas you can adjust it, which comes in handy when you have been editing in a dark room and you can't really see your keyboard. It has 2 USB ports as well, so you can connect your mouse or your whatever you want, a USB port or something like that.
Right. And so the color scheme here, like what sort of inspired the pastel look?
That's our graphic designer. She has a weak spot for the pastel colors, but she really tries to work out the structure of the keyboard and groupings, so it's as easy as possible for the eye to reach the shortcuts, so you can be more efficient. Yeah.
Do you guys have any deals going on right now for discounts during NAB?
We have NAB 2017, which will give a 15% discount. Yeah.
So NAB 2017, if you want to go to logickeyboard.com, is that right? Yeah, great. So what are some of the other keyboards that, you know, people that are shooter, editor, producers may find useful? Yeah, people that would find useful that kind of have to do everything. So like I deal with Photoshop, Illustrator all the time.
Yeah.
Do you guys have keyboards for that?
We do. I have a Photoshop keyboard here if you want to see it. Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm going to see if you guys have any questions while he grabs the keyboard.
I have 2 actually.
All right.
I have the. This is a original Apple keyboard, which is a bundle, because we know that Lightroom uses Photoshop as well. So if you buy a Lightroom keyboard, you will get a Photoshop skin on top of that for the same price.
That's really cool. So it's almost like a skin on top of a keyboard with shortcuts for
Exactly.
Lightroom.
And this will protect your keyboard as well,
Oh,
as you know.
Yes, and actually you can wash the skins in a dishwasher, or not a dishwasher, but you.
can actually.
Oh, in the dishwasher, yes. I think also in the washing machine. Is that right? It can go up to how many degrees?
I think it's about 30 or 40
So,
degrees.
you know, pretty hot. Or I just rinse it under the sink, which is
Yeah,
fine.
That does
Yep.
the job anyway.
Yes, it
Yeah.
does. Awesome.
We also have the backlit version for the Photoshop keyboard. We also have that for Illustrator, and Lightroom is just been released as well. We have for After Effects. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And the Adobe system suite.
That's fantastic. And I see Logickeyboard everywhere. It seems like such a popular keyboard to have. It's nice swag for your studio.
Yeah, really.
Right
It's a
on.
good gadget for the studio.
How did Logickeyboard get started? How long have you guys been around for?
They've been around for about 36 years or something. They started doing small keycaps for regular keyboards, and then you bought a bag of keycaps, and then you had to assemble your keyboard for yourself. And back in 2002, they started doing dedicated keyboards where you actually bought a real keyboard with all the shortcuts on top of it.
So with the future going interactive, as you know, like how do you see Logic Keyboard sort of adapting to some of the interactive, headsets, controllers that people are using? Do you think Logic is sort of thinking about that as we sort of develop more interactive systems?
I'm not quite sure I understand
So,
that question.
like we have different types of controllers, how to interact with media, right? Like headsets, and keyboards. Like obviously that's for the shortcuts in the software, but we could be using touchscreens soon. Like you know what I mean? So, you know.
Yeah, we're always trying to make new products and make them better. And you know that the small OLED screens is something that everyone is talking about now. So obviously that's probably the future for us. We don't know yet. It's very expensive as we speak right now to make them, but I'm sure that within a few years that will be the standard keyboard for anyone, really.
Well, thanks so much, Casper, for showing us your awesome and beautiful keyboards. I'm just going to see if anybody has any questions. I think we're a little bit behind. How much are they? Okay. How many can you put in a suitcase?
How many can you put in a suitcase? Well, last year when I traveled here for the first time at NAB, I had 20 in my suitcase. Yeah, it took me a while to get through customs because they said, why do you need 20 keyboards? Do you have some kind of a bomb in there or something like that? But yeah, 20 keyboards. I love that question. And
how much does like the Premiere Pro backlit keyboard cost?
it's about $140. It depends on the reseller. Some has better pricing, but it's in that price range.
And of course, you can get 15% off of that with NAB 2017, of course. Thanks so much for your question, Judy, on that. And somebody said, Andrea, oh my gosh, want. So that's great. Yeah, I mean, they're great keyboards. Definitely keep an eye on my channel. Like there may be a giveaway in the near future. So definitely, keep and subscribe to my channel. And yeah.
Subscribe. She's really good.
Thanks, Casper. Well, thanks again. And I'll see you around. Enjoy everybody coming to your booth and good luck. Yeah.
Great. Thanks, guys, for watching.
All right. Hey, you guys, it's Premier Gal again, and we just left Logickeyboard, and here we are with Wolfe Music. I'm here with Sam, and Sam is an account manager?
I am a music licensing consultant at Wolfe. So I handle all your licensing needs, from music searches to putting licensing through, anything.
And Wolfe is high-end music libraries. I use Wolfe for some of the productions that I do for short documentaries, promos. They have heaps of different styles. I particularly really like their documentary landscapes album. So Sam, do you want to tell us a little bit about sort of what is the ideal client for some of your music and a little bit about your library?
Yeah, so our production library, we're actually the original production music library, started in 1909 by Meyer DeWolf. So it's still family owned. So our music spans genres from everything from current pop sounds all the way back through the 40s, 50s, 60s era and everything in between. So our catalog is 100,000 tracks and really comprehensive. So, we work with all types of clients. We work with all the major ad agencies. We work with production companies. We work with filmmakers. We work with universities, and we work with corporate entities and government, and really anyone who uses music. We can work with you in any capacity.
Fantastic. And so what is like your favorite right now, like of your new what was it called? Bite Hard. I saw that was released. Do you want to sort of go into detail about some of the new releases that you have?
Absolutely. So we were released about, I would say, 60 to 75 new albums a year. And so this new Bite Hard label is actually a really cool thing that we're doing here in the States, where we're working with a number of producers, mostly located in New York right now. Some of you might be familiar with Blockhead. He's a pretty popular producer from Brooklyn. And so what they did is these artists have gone in and they're taking samples from our vintage vinyl collection, which is authentic music that we have from the 40s, 50s, 60s, and 70s, and they're actually sampling it, and they're creating new contemporary hip-hop sounds specifically for us that's now in the library. And so that's a whole label that we just launched. We have 3 releases right now. So we have the Blockhead, Montoya Beats, and Rodney Hazard, and we have a couple of other artists coming down the pipeline, as well as second follow-up records from these artists as well.
That's fantastic. And so Bite Hard, like why did you guys decide to call it Bite Hard?
So we wanted something that was, had a little bit of an edge. It's really commercial sounding music. And so what we wanted to do with the label is we wanted to take the ease of licensing production music, but with the quality of commercial music. And so it really sounds like commercial hip hop music. And so but with, traditional music, it's really tough if you have samples to get all those clearances. And so with us, everything is being sampled, is our music, and so we own 100%. And so it's quality music, but it's real simple to get your hands on.
And somebody just asked live from CBR Network Studio, do you have metal?
Yeah, we do. We do have a couple of hard rock and metal records. Personally, I'm a metal fan, so it's interesting music. We do have a couple of records. We try to create a diverse catalog and really have music in every genre depending on what people need. So there's definitely a couple albums out there. If you go to our website and you search metal or you search hard rock, there will be metadata tags that you'll be able to search, and you'll be able to find those records pretty easily.
And so do you guys have any deals right now? Let's say, somebody's watching on the Premier Gal channel and they want to either buy a track or get some sort of like annual license. Like, what can we do to sort of hook them up?
Absolutely. So we offer a variety of different types of licenses, and so what we do is we really like to talk to the client and figure out exactly what they need, and we license and curtail a package to exactly what you need. So we know that sometimes budgets are tight and you're working on a deadline, and so we really try and work with you on your budget and get the exact music that you need at the right price. And so definitely for all you video makers out there, certainly mention Premier Gal when you come to us. You'll be talking to me personally, and we'll definitely make sure that you guys get hooked up, and we'll work with you and on your budget and on your projects for sure.
Forgot the microphone. Important detail. Somebody just asked if you can have musicians submit music to you, and how does that work?
So we do take submissions. The majority of our records are still being recorded by our team in London, which is where our headquarters are, where we own a recording studio. But we have been working more and more with artists in the U.S. And so for all you composers out there, please, you can send an email to team, T-E-A-M, at dwolfmusic.com, and that'll get to our A&R team in the New York office, who we will then sort through all of our submissions, and if we feel like we have a fit for you guys, then we'll definitely be reaching out.
Right on. And do you have any country music?
We have all types of music, but we'll get a little rowdy here, I guess, with these hats.
Yeah, we got these hats from another booth, and I was just like, oh, this is perfect for talking about some country.
Yeah, I'm not mad about this at all.
But seriously, like, are there like, how do people search effectively inside of your search engine? Do they search by musician? Can they search by like curated lists? What are the best ways to go about finding your music? Because sometimes that can take a really long time.
Absolutely. And so before I even dive into that question, I will say part of the service that we offer at DeWolf is actually music search assistance. And so anyone, whether you're a client with us on an annual or you're just a freelance videographer looking for a single track, you can reach out to us, and what we'll do is we'll search for the music for you. You know, we know our library pretty well, and so all you have to do is let us know what style of sound you're looking for, and what we do is we create playlists based on your description, and then we work with you to find the exact track that you need. So some clients, they don't even look at the website. If they don't have to, they can come to us. That being said, the searching functions are pretty comprehensive in terms of the types of searches you can do. You can search by genre, you can search by time period, you can search by instrumentation, by mood, or by the various music labels if you know that well. You can also search by length. So many of our tracks do have 60-second, 30-second, and stings as well. And so if you're looking for a small cut for your pieces, will you be able to search by that as well?
Do you guys have any plans of integrating a plugin with editing software like Premiere Pro, Avid, or DaVinci Resolve? I know that a few other companies I've worked with have integrated a search within the actual editing system.
Yeah, and I think that's something that we talked about when we met a couple months ago. It's something that we've definitely brought up before with our team in London, and it's something that's definitely on the radar because especially as things move along, it's definitely about ease, and that makes things easy for editors and for us as well. And so there's a lot of new technology out there that we're trying to integrate into our systems, and we do have a new website in the works that will have greater functionalities, and so we'll see what we'll be able to bring together in the next couple years.
And somebody just asked live right now on YouTube. They missed the first part, but they asked if it's subscription based on a plan, or if you can pay per track.
So the answer is both. We offer a lot of different licensing solutions, so we really have the flexibility to basically create a license to exactly what you need. So we do offer single use, what we call needle drops. We do also have annual blankets, and we have a couple different options in between where we can work per production, we can work per like web series. We have a lot of flexibility in terms of creating a license that's exactly what you need, so you're getting exactly what you need but not paying for anything you don't.
So Andrea, to answer your question, basically if you just reach out to Sam, I'll probably include his contact info or just send you a message on Twitter about after this, but he'll really create a plan that probably will suit whatever the company needs for you. So I would suggest just talking with him rather than just sort of looking on the site for pricing. So is there anything else that you want to say, Sam? Thanks so much for all the information.
Yeah, no problem, and thanks to Premiere Gal for having us here. Definitely a great resource for all you video editors out there, and please do reach out to us, mention Premiere Gal. We'll make sure that we work with you, and hopefully all you guys are having a good time out there.
And so the next stop is a post-production campus with Future Media Concepts. So I'll see you guys probably in about 5 minutes. Right on.
Awesome.